Hey, how's it going? I am so excited to show you this project today. This is it. It's the flower Kusudama ball. Or, alternatively, you can make just the flower out of 5 pieces of paper. Ingredients for your project today. Either 5 or 60 of the squares. 5 squares will make you this beautiful little flower. You could put a stem on it and a leaf if you want to. 60 squares will make you the entire Kusudama ball. Now if you'll notice, I've put blue and peach together. You can do whatever you'd like. 60 squares is exactly 5 sheets of origami twist paper. So 5 sheets, cut them out into squares, ready to go. Now, you will need a pair of scissors, your double-sided adhesive of choice, or craft glue of some sort. Elmer's makes a good one. It's up to you what you use for adhesive. And you will also need a container of paper clips. All right, let's get to it. Okay, step 1 is to make the petal. There's 2 petals put together. If you'll notice, this one has just 1 centerpiece. This one has 3. I will show you, it's just a slight modification to the fold, and I will show you how to do that as well. All right, start with 1 square. I'm going to use a large plain sheet so you can see all the details. The final product was actually made out of this, which comes from the Pinks 10 collection on my website. But we'll use plain paper just to run you through the steps. So, corner to corner. That's a fairly easy crease there. Okay, take the bottom right hand corner, line it up with the top corner, and once again, make it as accurate as possible and give it a good crease. Now take the bottom left hand corner, line it up with the top. That should be a bit easier now that you have one already there. One that you prepared earlier, if you will. And that's the first step. Now if you turn it, you'll be able to see that there's a gap in here created by that original fold. We are just going to open the gap up, lining up this line inside here, go, where it connects with this top. Now you can do that by holding it from the back and lining it up. You can do that just by doing it by eye. It's up to you. But you do need to give it a good crease and squash it down. So there's the back, there's the front. It looks a little bit like a kite. And now you do the same thing on the other side. Once again, open it up and either go by eye here or match up the corner crease with the top crease there. You can do whichever you'd like. All right, and at this point is where you are going to decide whether you want the petal with 3 centerpieces or the petal with 1 centerpiece. We'll start with 1. Fold this top flap over, lining it up perfectly with the edge, and fold the flap over on the other side, a little bit like an envelope. See, it's got 2 flaps. Now for the first one, with the single one inside of it, all you have to do at this point is either fold it this way or fold it this way. I actually prefer folding it this way. So see that long skinny triangle? You just fold this long skinny triangle over on top of it and crease. And same thing here. You have a long skinny triangle going on here and you just line it up. They should be relatively close to the same size and you're all finished. Now at this point I'm going to show you the 3 centered one as well, because this is the only difference between the 2. And now we need to modify it slightly to make the 3 inside bits. Open up the flap, and if you look at it on the side there, you'll see that you've got a crease in here, you've got a nice straight line there, and you've got your flap, which is already pre-folded. All you have to do is tuck the flap inside, just as if you were tucking it into an envelope. Okay? When you do that, you'll see that you've got an extra bit here. Now before, you had it flapped, with the single one, you had it flapped over there, so there's no extra bit. In this case, you tuck it inside, creating an extra flap, which is where that third one comes in. And now long skinny one, you put the long skinny one over the top. So 2 pieces. Let's do that again on the other side. So you've got 2 flaps and 2 flaps. On the other single one, you've got 1 flap and 1 flap. Okay, now from here on in, everything is identical. You take your double-sided tape or adhesive, pop it onto one of the long skinny triangles. Okay, pull that off and just stick them together, lining them up. There's your single centered petal. I've already pulled the paper off of this one. Okay, and I line them up and press really well, and there we go. We've got 3 internal sections, just like that. Now that you've made your 5 petals, we're going to attach them together to create your flower. Grab your adhesive, put a little tiny dab on your petal, and stick it, being careful to line it up, stick it to the next petal. Because it takes a little while to dry, I'm actually going to pop a paper clip on there just to hold it together until it sets. Now do that for the other 3 petals, so a little dab of glue. Line up the petal. There we go. There's the 3rd one. While it's drying, you can either set up the rest of these, especially if you're making the whole ball, you may want to do that. Or you can also sit and squish the petals down a little bit, not creasing them, just squishing them open. Because once it's dry and you go to connect this one to that one, having the petals as open as possible is going to give you the best chance of getting them connected and looking really nice. So let that dry and we'll come back and connect them. Okay, they've had a chance to dry a little bit. We're just going to put another dab of glue just like we did before. And you could even spread it out a little bit if you want to, like that. Get your paper clip at the ready, and you're going to press the center together while expanding the outside. Now we'll attach each of the flowers together to make the Kusudama ball, and we'll be all set. When you connect all of your flowers, you're actually going to make 2 hemispheres. As you can see, there is a top flower, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers surrounding the top flower. So each hemisphere has 6 flowers, and once they're connected, they'll turn into a globe. So let's start with the first 3. You're going to want a little bit of glue or whatever you're using for an adhesive. I've rolled up a piece of paper to use as a dauber. It is totally up to you what adhesive you use as well as how you apply it. Now you'll see I just put glue on 2 petals, and then I'm actually going to grab a couple of paper clips from this one because it has dried. Then I'm just going to clip them together, making sure they're nice and lined up. The more accurately lined up they are, the better the final sphere will come together. Doesn't have to be perfect, but close is great. Okay, now I have two put together, the two petals connected. Now I'm going to put a bit of glue here. One petal of the next flower is going to go in the middle between those two petals, and then one petal on each side. When the sphere is completed, every single petal and every single flower will be connected to two other petals. So let me just clip these together and then we'll have a look at how they're connected. Oops, see if it slides. That's the beauty of liquid glue. If it slides a little bit, you can push it right back into place. And I might put a clip there. Nothing wrong with overkill because they'll obviously come off afterwards. So this petal is connected to one petal there and one petal there. This petal's connected to this petal, and when the next flower comes in, as you can see here, it'll be connected to two total petals, and so on and so forth. So let's do that one more time with the next one. There we go. So one in the center, three going around it. We'll put one more here and one more here, and we'll have a completed second hemisphere, and I'll come back to connect them with you. Now we've got the two hemispheres with paper clips falling off them at a rapid rate. We're just going to cover one of these with a line of glue and then paper clip all the way around. Just going to have glue all the way around. Cut a length of ribbon. Tie a little knot in the end of it. There we go. I've already applied glue to the hemisphere, to one of the hemispheres. See how I'm just lining it up with the knot in the middle? And then lay the other hemisphere over the top. Again, we're going to come in with paper clips. I suggest, as you see what I'm doing here, I put a few on one side, then a few on the other side. Then I go to a different place because this is not going to want to connect. It's going to fight it a little bit. But that's okay. Once it's dry, the glue will hold it in place, no problems. Oops, paper clips flying everywhere. There we go. Okay, just go right along that line, make sure they're all attached. Just let that rest somewhere, ideally propped up on its paper clips until it's dry, and you'll have your finished flower Kusudama ball. Okay, so the obvious question is, what's next? Well, you've probably seen this before. It's a paper crane. You may have even made one or 1,000 of them, but it is a fairly standard origami project that is well worth trying. In the next video, I'm going to actually teach you how to make one of these, so if you haven't done it before, that's okay. The lesson will be there. But we're going to take it a step further, and I'll show you for size reference. We're going to make this little teeny tiny paper crane. And the beauty of it is that you will actually be able to make it into a pair of earrings. So the next video is little teeny tiny paper crane earrings. I can't wait to see you then. I hope you have a great day and happy folding.